Right now, the Kenya Institute for Public Policy Research and Analysis has released the Kenya Economic Report 2023 with a major focus on the cost of living and the role of markets. Noah Kipkemboi now joins us from the unveil with the latest. Good afternoon, Noah. Tell us more.
Good afternoon, Calvin. Indeed, as you've rightly put it, this particular Kenya Economic Report 2023 is a critical piece of document in regards to suggestions, first of all, telling where we are as a country, and secondly, the issue about interventions. And this particular one, the iteration for the year 2023, it's focusing on two key themes, and that is the cost of living and also the role of markets. And Calvin, I mean, when you talk about cost of living, everyone is talking about it. Talk about fuel prices skyrocketing, also food prices. We've experienced quite actually some shocks in the past, but now we have rains. How is that changing the whole dynamics? But to help us dig deeper into this particular report, I'm joined by Aden Shibia from KIPPRA. Thank you very much, sir, for talking to us. Quite a huge report. Talk to us about what were the key findings when coming up with this particular report, and what were the major focus when you talk about cost of living and also the issue of role of markets.
Thank you, Noah. So for the Kenya Economic Report 2023, this is actually the 15th edition since 2009, and the theme for this year is cost of living and the role of markets. We all know that cost of living has been an issue since 2022, and previously we have also experienced the issue of the cost of living. And so the focus of the report is to see how we can leverage on the markets, because direct government interventions are associated with some inefficiencies and also a strain on the government revenue. So we need to leverage on the markets. And by markets, we mean not only the infrastructure, the physical infrastructure, but also the digital infrastructure, but also the policy framework, the legal framework, and the whole ecosystem in terms of enabling the market. But also the report has looked at other areas in terms of cushioning the low-income households, in terms of, for example, aspects to do with the minimum wage and also access to affordable credit, because these are key in terms of cushioning households to smoothen their consumption when they face shocks. And also in terms of government interventions, for example, in terms of reducing information asymmetry within the market, among other various issues.
Thank you very much. Part of the interventions that we've talked about is about e-mobility. We have Dr. Humphrey Njogu joining us, very passionate about e-mobility. And, you know, the other day, so there was sort of an unveil of e-mobility guidelines, yeah, especially when it comes to battery technology. It seems we are making quite a move towards, towards electric mobility.
Yeah, it is true that now, Noah, that as a country we have we are actually putting some efforts towards accelerating adoption of electric mobility. If you look at our current mobility model, it's actually dominated by fossil fuel vehicles, and statistics indicate that about 75% of our imported petroleum fuel go to transport sector. And again, also statistics also showing that about 9% of total expenditure for household go to transport. Interesting enough, we can also say that when you also rank the individual components of the households items, bus fare and matatu fare are actually ranked number 2 out of number 10. So this is actually a concern. When the prices of fuel go up, then this also means that the household would also be affected. Yeah.
I mean, in terms of policy interventions and quickening that, I know I've touched on some of those, guidelines that were released recently. This particular report, what is it suggesting to sort of boost that transition to e-mobility?
Yeah, thank you. Apart from the guidance that were actually released by KEBS to guide the adoption of electric mobility, so the report is making various recommendations. One of the recommendations is to see how we can be able to create that environment that is supposed to support e-mobility. One, we are reflecting on the infrastructure, creating adequate infrastructure in terms of increasing the charging points, and the secondary, again, also looking at how we can be able to increase the swapping points for batteries. So third point that we also making in the report is that if we could be able to support assembling, support the marketing of electric vehicles, that would be very key, particularly if there are some measures that can actually be put towards enhancing the production of 2- and 3-wheelers, because there is a huge demand for that. Last but not least, we also need to think about our electricity, because electricity is a driver for these electric vehicles. So we know we have been having a lot of outages, once in a while. So if you can have efficient systems to distribute power so that we cut down our outages, that will be very key. Right. And more importantly, keep on tapping on our renewable energies, particularly geothermal. We need to do more than we are, so that we're able to meet this additional demand for electric vehicles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dr. Humphrey Njogu, with the details on matters e-mobility. But Nyakundi, this is the latest in regards to Kenya Economic Report 2023 and some of the policy interventions and suggestions that have been given that the government and key stakeholders can take and adopt, which is very critical. Back to you in studio.
Right, Noah, thank you so much for that. Now, the taxation regime in the country will need to be thought through to avoid killing